she got married to him, so safety should be.
Well, maybe, but people change too over time. So it comes back to like not doing your duty. So if you do have a man that's like not showing up, not following through, not doing his end in whatever way that was agreed upon within that relationship, her body is going to say like unsafe, unpredictable, unreliable.
This is why it's so important for men to like stay attractive and have other options. Because women only respond favorably to men that have other options that can replace her. Women behave the best when you can leave them.
Myron Gaines destroys this ultra-feminist in this debate as she tries to blame men for being the reason to leave a relationship. Myron Gaines fires back using her own words to prove his point, showing why men have to be both dominant and willing to walk away. Let's get in.
Okay, so the problem is that like with feminism and other things is like women want the privileges and the benefits of chivalry and like the security of marriage and the sanctity of that, but they don't want to hold up their end of the bargain versus like for men, right? Like we have to do what we're supposed to do. And if we don't, we deal with consequences for it. You know, women initiate most breakups, they initiate most divorces, etc. So, you know, if I'd say, you know what, I don't feel like paying the bills anymore, like you would look at me like I'm crazy. But like when women say, well, I don't want to fuck my husband anymore, it's completely socially acceptable, right? So, and this is a big reason actually why I tell guys like marriage nowadays with the marriage courts involved and getting married through the state isn't in your best interest because you don't have leverage anymore. And when you don't have leverage over women, they behave very poorly, if I'm going to be honest.
What's the motivation in marriage?
For men or women?
For a man.
Honestly, dude, I mean, in today's day and age, you really don't get any real benefit besides the title. You can get everything through a regular relationship. Now, again, I think you can marry religiously, and I think that's great because having children out of wedlock's L. But to get the state involved, that's where I run into issues.
I do agree. I recently got married. It's for family. It's for moral tradition.
Of course.
It's for
absolutely.
Raising strong, honorable individuals. I told Allison.
Better for the kids.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. So I completely agree. The courts are broken. No fault divorce is broken. But I didn't get married for myself. I did it for my child who's going to be here very soon.
Yeah.
Because I want them to grow up with strong moral tradition and understanding that there is duty and responsibility.
Agreed. And that's why I tell guys, if you're going to get married, do it religiously. Don't necessarily do it with the state or try to avoid the state, because the nuclear family with, you know, married parents is going to be significantly better. But what I'm trying to illustrate here is that like what I've realized with women is like there's more social acceptance for them breaching the contract than there is for men.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's my yeah.
Well, it depends on like what parts are being breached. If we're talking about sex, that's something that's like so intimate, and then that will affect the relationship. Like if you force
Well, most marriages are sexless.
Right, and I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's okay. Like, why are you in a relationship then? So I think a lot of women.
But I think that's the norm because women aren't really held to like a standard on their side when it comes to marriage obligations.
Yeah, it's confusing because I've heard it phrased kind of similarly, where a woman is tricking a man into monogamy, but really it's celibacy, right? So I'm like promising you monogamy, but then once we become in that monogamous relationship, now you get like marital deathbed, and then what's the point?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but like, you know, a woman's main agency is her sexuality. So if she doesn't give you that, then like
it shouldn't be weaponized. I firmly I hate when I see women of like, you don't do this, I'm not having sex with you. I don't think that that's healthy.
they leverage sex for compliance.
Right. I don't think that's okay. But I'm saying like if a woman isn't having sex because like her body is telling her not to, like there's like some kind of reaction that she's getting, she's like, it's not working, like nothing is getting lubricated, there's no arousal, she doesn't feel safe, then you have to look at like bigger issues within that relationship. So like
She got married to him, so safety should be.
Well, maybe, but people change too over time. So it comes back to like not doing your duty. So if you do have a man that's like not showing up, not following through, not doing his end in whatever way that was agreed upon within that relationship, her body is going to say like unsafe, unpredictable, unreliable.
There's only one way to deal with that though.
Force.
No, not no. Well, of course, I mean, that's not the way I was going to say. This is why it's so important for men to like stay attractive and have other options. Because women only respond favorably to men that have other options that can replace her. Women behave the best when you can leave them.
So if he's not doing his duty, hence therefore, then everything's going to be his fault to why I'm not aroused and then we're not having sex. She doesn't mention her duty. Like, what happens when you're not in the mood or you don't feel like it? What about your duty when it's not convenient for you as a woman because you have your own agency, because you're bold and independent and know your own woman? Like, this woman just wants to kick the can over to the man. And to Myron Gaines' point, yeah, this is exactly why. Guys, unfortunately, it's on you. Like, you gotta, you gotta keep your standards up. You gotta be in shape. You gotta be attractive. You gotta be all this, because then she's going to remember, I can be replaced. Nothing drives a woman mad even more after they leave a relationship or a marriage to see the guy that they left basically just doing great. It absolutely drives them nuts because those same women can't get the same guy, but that same guy can get a woman likewise or even younger. So he's got more options than she does. But hit that like button and notification bell if you're enjoying the video. And if you want to help support the channel, check out the link in the description and let's get back in.
I think we have a problem with dishonor. And I don't know, but a lot of the stuff that I hear, while I do agree and understand what you're saying, I hear a lot of guys who say things like men are disposable, and it's true.
Yeah.
From an evolutionary standpoint. But it's crazy to me that there are guys who are very, very selfish, like I should get what I want out of everything. And it's like, I don't know, the way I view this society is I do like the chivalry. I like the hero charging into battle, sacrificing himself for the greater good, for building something brilliant, planting trees whose shade he knows he will never sit beneath. And that is something that men need to accept. If you were a guy, life will be harder. In a lot of ways, it's not going to be fair to you. You will be treated as disposable garbage. You will be insulted. And that is part of a man being transformed from a wad of cookie dough into being carved out of stone. So all these guys out there that are like, it's not fair, stop being a weak little bitch. Life's never going to be fair to you. It's going to treat you like crap. It's going to throw you in the mud and spit in your face. And then you have to stand up and say, that's what being a guy is.
Yeah, and I think if a guy does, traverse these obstacles, that their woman needs to follow their lead and be completely submissive. And, this is why I'm so big on like male leadership. Like, I think anything where women are in the lead, it leads to problems. It's very problematic. And,
Started more wars. Is that true?
What, women?
I heard that women, female leaders have started more wars than men. Let me ask.
Yeah, I've heard that stat too. But I think the biggest thing is when it comes to relationships, because too many guys are like okay with letting their wife or their girlfriend run things, and that's like a Trojan horse to the end of the relationship because they're told you and your woman are equal partnerships, and that just sounds good on paper but doesn't work.
Yeah, Genghis Khan set his wife to be the administrator of the capital when he was on campaign. Like, she was a brilliant administrator. And I think one of the values of marriage through the legal system is you get to share money and you can give her all your money to administrate.
I think that's bad.
So it says actually,
it takes a load off if you're a businessman.
So this is interesting. Historically, through all of human history, men have started more wars. Why? Well, there's more male leaders. However, in modern society, it's actually comparable. Women and men start wars at nearly the same rates. So that's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I see your perspective, but I think, I'm a big proponent of like separate bank accounts, your woman not having access to your money, because I think it could just be problematic. But what I've realized is this: when it comes to marriage and dealing with women nowadays, you got to come at it almost from like a defensive standpoint where if she were to leave you or divorce you or whatever, you're mitigating as much risk and damage as possible, because the problem is that the family courts and the marriage system that we have nowadays incentivizes women to leave you and they get rewarded for it. So I'm like, damn, if you're going to get in a business contract with someone that's incentivized to break it, like that's not good on your end. So you need to hedge your bets and have things in place where you protect your assets.
Yeah, guys, it's unfortunate, but Myron Gaines is again 100% right. Unfortunately, you have to protect yourself because in this day and age, marriage is not the same. It is not what it used to be. And anybody can be out to get you, even your wife. Even if you get $1 million tomorrow, she can marry you and divorce you the next day. So the way that you move, if you have prenups, agreements, lawyer, whatever it is, if you're going to get, like Myron Gaines mentioned, into a contract, into a quote unquote business contract, because there are tax incentives, right? There's a lot of that stuff that comes into it. But if you're going to get into that contract, you have to protect yourself 100%. Because if you don't, and then you end up getting burned, that's entirely your fault and you should have known better. But thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what Myron Gaines had to say, completely destroying this ultra woke feminist in this debate, proving why men need to look out for themselves first. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.